This is my reflective post about making the big phone. Basically, I'd planned out all different scenarios in which I could incorporate this big phone and working out how exactly it would fit in an exhibition space and the best way around presenting it and putting it up. I had come up with the final design for the phone, looking at Instagram and all the different things on an iPhone where it has the battery, the signal, and stuff like that. So I was making sure that it was exactly accurate. Um, the event overall, I think, went really well. Once I put it up, I felt like I knew what my space was going to look like. I had a good idea of like how long it would take me to make it, and it felt like it was all coming together really nicely. What went well during this was I now know the size. The size is a big thing, especially when talking to the technician. He needed to know exactly what size it was so we can order stuff we needed. And now I know what size I would like it, and I've worked it out. And I feel like the way I've done it is a good size. Um, I was also quite happy with how I had painted the phone. The actual black bit of the iPhone, I had put almost like a shimmer on it to show that it's not a matte surface, it's a shiny surface. And when I do my real one, I want to take that technique and put that in. What went badly was that it was very difficult to make this phone because I planned to make it with a single piece of wood. I didn't have that on standby, and also I knew it was going to take a long time, so I had to think of other materials to use. So I used this foam board, and they were only in small cubes, so I had to use four of these to make up the phone at the size I wanted it to. And it's quite difficult to work with and draw out because of the size of it. And then I also had to cut out a see-through hole for my piece to be presented. Um, it was also quite difficult to get those four pieces to stay together. Using just basic tape wasn't strong enough, so I had to use duct tape to make sure that they would stay together, and it wouldn't fall down once I put it up. Another issue I had was that I had planned to print off each comment and print off the symbols so you could get a more accurate depiction of what it's going to look like. But the printer wasn't working, so I had to write them all out and then hand paint them all on, which made it look quite scruffy. And even though it was a development piece, I thought that I wasn't very happy with that sort of side of it. That looked quite messy. Um, so for when I make this actual phone in the exhibition space, I'm going to make sure that I've properly researched the font of Instagram to make sure it's as accurate as possible. I'm also going to get the correct symbols and get them at the size that I want them to be for the phone. I am going to use spray paint instead of normal paint for the white of the phone and the black of the phone, simply because I feel like that's going to give me a more smooth finished surface, and the colour will be more intense, and it won't look scruffy if I do it right. And the final thing is that I want to make the phone out of wood because I know that it'll be strong, and if I nail it to a board, it's not going to go anywhere. And I also think that that will be it will give it a better look, and you won't be able to see any joints of where two bits of material go together, and I feel like that could really ruin the effect. So overall, I think that making this phone was a very successful thing, and it's made me very happy being able to look at it um, in front of me rather than just on Sketchbook. And that is my reflective post on creating the phone.